Paid to stay home and sleep.
Absolutely.
Oh, no 3 minute like quiet that normally happens.
Aggressive.
Today I'd be authoritative today. All right, it is now 7 p.m. Tuesday, April 23rd, 2024, and I call this meeting of the Board of Education to order. Cindy, would you please call the roll?
Mathis,
Here.
Locke,
Here.
Gilbert,
Present.
Sliger,
Present.
Meadows,
Present.
Gonzalez Thomas,
Present.
Arlandu,
Here.
Next, we lead the Pledge of Allegiance, and since I did not call on, give anyone a heads up, I will do it myself. So I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Tom, are there any items to add to the agenda?
Potentially under consent,
Yes,
which
so-
we have language for you later.
Later, okay,
Yep.
thank you. So we'll address those as we come along.
Yep.
Okay. All right, celebrating successes. So last month, we announced Batavia had received the Best Communities for Music Education Award from NAAM for the 10th time. So congrats. Here to share some of this amazing musical talent with us are two RMS flautists, Ronnie Worth and Lily Cook. Here to introduce them this evening is music educator, fine arts coordinator, and activities director at RMS, the man we all know and love, Keith Osbath.
Hello, thank you for allowing us to be here tonight. Ronnie and Lily are two fabulous flautists. Lily is an 8th grade student and Ronnie is a 7th grade student. And they're part of our larger small ensemble club, which meets weekly on Friday mornings at 7 a.m., bright and early. And at Small Ensemble Club, the students organize themselves in groups of 2 to 5 students, sometimes same instrumentation, sometimes mixed instrumentation, and they perform for both school events and community events like this. So we're very excited to debut our first ensemble, and they're going to be performing Theme from the New World Symphony by Antonin Dvorak.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Thank you very much. That was amazing.
Thank you.
Let's make a habit of that.
Yeah.
All right, next is public comments. Do we have any public comments for today?
We do not.
Okay, we do not, so I will spare everyone the pain of me reading all of this, but I will just say, welcome to the Board of Meeting, the Board of Education. Anyone who wishes to address?
Did you fill out a form?
Yeah, that's why I'm reading the part, but if you want to go ahead. All right, well, while you're doing that, I'll read this part so that you can catch up on it, and then we'll have you come up. So welcome to the meeting of the Board of Education. If anyone wishes to address the board this evening, please see our recording secretary to submit a form for addressing the board. Please put your full name and address on the form. In general, the board will not answer questions or engage in dialogue during public comment. This does not mean we do not take your concerns or comments seriously. The board values active community participation in the district's endeavors and encourages people to engage with the district using the appropriate channels and systems designed with your input in mind. Board members are not involved in the day-to-day operations of the district and cannot engage in district business individually. If you have specific questions or would like to further engage with the district, you may submit your questions using the link on the website, and an appropriate staff member will communicate with you. Our BPS 101 Communications Manager, Holly Deachman, will now explain the procedures for public comment and call up the speakers.
James, you'll be called up in order of submission. We've just received yours. You'll be ready to go. You'll have a 3-minute timer. That's the amount of time that's designated for your public comment. I will put a 3-minute timer up on the board for you to manage your time while you're up there. Additionally, if there's anyone that has additional comments, you can see Cindy Rodriguez to submit those written comments at any time. Please conduct yourself with civility and respect towards all in the room. Thank you. This is James Donovan.
Welcome, James.
Good evening. I'm just calling, or excuse me, I'm just here to make a comment about on April 19th, apparently there was a walkout by students at Batavia Public High School in order to promote gun control. And I believe that this is political. They were allowed to leave school early, which I don't think is appropriate to be engaging in, to allowing political actions like that. I think it, as you can see by the news, that sort of thing gets out of hand pretty quickly, especially since it was on April 19th. Does anybody in this room know what the significance of April 19th is?
Anniversary Columbine. Columbine.
No, I believe that was the 20th. April 19th was Lexington and Concord. That was the spark that started our American Revolution. It's when King George sent General Gage to confiscate the weapons from the militia, like the group that Mel Gibson played in that movie, The Patriot. That was the spark to our country. And I find it odd that someone named Vicki Davidson, a Geneva committee person, reposted, I don't even know if this is legal, but the entire article, I think it's from the Chronicle, basically publicizing that event as well. Anyway, I just thought with our student reading proficiency levels at 42%, that I would think that we would want to use every minute of the day to get those numbers up. Anyway, that's all I had. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next is BPS Partners. Todd?
Good evening, everyone. First off, I have several things I'm going to go through tonight. But first off, I am going to call somebody up to the podium with me because I would like him to kind of share in the limelight in front of all of you for a second. So I'm going to call Jake Wyeth up to join me up here. And the reason I'm calling Jake up is that he is a nominee for Kane County Teacher Educator of the Year this year in the elementary teacher category. So a week from this Friday, we hopefully will see Jake taking the stage as the winner of that. But I just wanted to kind of give you a little background on Jake. I know a lot of you know him, but Jake's been in the district for 17 years, and he is a graduate of Batavia High School. So one of our own, just like we have a lot of teachers that are graduating from BHS and coming back to teach here in our district, which is great. Some of the capacities Jake has served in Batavia, he's been an EL para, working with our Spanish and foreign language students in that capacity. Then he became a Spanish teacher when at one time elementary had Spanish as one of our specials. And so Jake was a specials Spanish teacher at Grace McWayne. He then became an EL teacher at HC Storm. Then he taught bilingual first and second at HC Storm. And then after that, he has taught 1 year of fifth grade and 9 years of fourth grade at Alice Gustafson School. As far as BEA representation, Jake has been a building rep for many, many years. And much to my joy to have him on the board. He is a great voice, a great advocate for us. And this year, he is one of our inaugural co-chairs for our district committees that he co-chairs the Joint Appraisal Committee. So Jake's list of accomplishments are huge, and I think you all can see that he's very worthy of the nomination for Kane County Educator of the Year in elementary. So this is Jake. So congratulations, and we wish you the best. You're welcome.
Congratulations.
Then some other celebratory things. Just like some of you came out to our scholarship night last Friday, which was a great success for our music bingo. On May 2nd, we are having the district retirement and recognition celebration, of which you are all as board members invited to come and attend that event as well. Some of the things that'll happen that night, Tom and I are kind of like co-emceeing that event, but we recognize people with years of service to the district, and so we have a core group of people that get recognized at 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 plus years, and this year, there are 40 teachers that fall into those years of service categories. So a big cadre of teachers have reached those milestones. And not to diminish any of those years of service, because they are all fantastic and very important, but the main crux of that event is to recognize our retirees. And this year, we have 24 BEA members that are retiring this year, which is huge. And I think probably for every one, there's 2 that are retiring from Rotolo. So there's a great number of people who are retiring from Rotolo. And even though I didn't ask all 24 of them to come here tonight, I do want to commemorate them by reading their names and their years of service to the district. So if you bear with me for those 24, we'll go through the list. And I'm going to go at it from years of the least amount of service in Batavia to the most. And we'll save the last one for the big hurrah. So, retiring from Rotolo with 2 years of service to the district is Karen Lopez. Cheryl Cole is retiring from Hoover Wood with 13 years. Vicki Albrecht has 16 years, and she's at RMS. Rick Hess is at HC Storm, and he has 16 years of service. And Jody Stoneberg also has 16 years of service and is retiring from Rotolo. Steve Cronin is retiring from AGS with 20 years of service. Christine Beardsley has 23 years of service, and she's leaving Rotolo. Sue Palambella is a split teacher for our enrichment program at Louise White and Grace McWayne, and she has 23 years in our district. Anne-Marie Barnes is from Louise White, and she has 24 years, as does Marge Olieris, who has 24 years, and she is at the middle school. Elaine Modine is at Hoover Wood, and she has 25 years in our district. Mary Beth Skillman is at the high school with 25 years. Laura Papali is at RMS with 27 years, and Ellen Stewart also has 27 years at AGS in our district. Melissa Foster has been in our district for 28 years, and she is at Grace McWayne. Nancy Arrigo is at the middle school, and she's retiring with 29 years of service in the district, as is Cindy Meeland, who is a J.B. Nelson teacher with 29 years. David Carlson from Rotolo has 31 years of service to the district. Julie Phillips also has 31 years, and she's retiring from J.B. Nelson. At 32 years of service, we have Janine Pierce from Rotolo. Matt Holm is retiring with 33 years from Batavia High School, as is Derek Whitwell with 33 years at Batavia High School. And Lisa Hillquist is from Hoover Wood, and she's retiring with 35 years. And as impressive as that is, our number one most senior employee that's retiring this year is Amy Powell from Rotolo Middle School, and she has been employed by Batavia School District for 43 years. So with that, if you take all those years and add them together, that's 605 years of experience that these teachers have given to Batavia in total. And I just wanted to recognize them. And also, I think we deserve to give them all a round of applause. So and there is also an administrator who's retiring this year. We have Kevin Skomer from Louise White. He's been at several buildings. He's been in the district for 26 years, and even though he's not a BEA member, he has helped the BEA and worked with the BEA throughout his years here. So we wish Kevin a great retirement as well. So we will ring the bell out for him one more time at Louise. So. All right, so that's my, and I was going to tell you too. So May 2nd, at 4 to 6:30, come to the retirement celebration. It's an Enticing Cuisine, which is on Route 25 as you head out of town. It's just a great time, and it's very low-key. There'll be hors d'oeuvres, a little bit of a program from Tom and myself, lots of camaraderie and commiserating and celebrating the honorees for our district. So I hope you all can come. And then the last thing I have is that, for me, this is the last time I get to address you as BEA president. And that doesn't mean, however, that I will not be addressing you ever again. Next month, for example, will have the honor to introduce the next BEA president to you all. And you just made me see me stepping up to the mic in the future without my BEA hat, but with my teacher hat on. So I'm not going to drop the board. I will keep coming back. I will stay invested. So you're not going to be rid of me that quickly or that easily. So I'll be around. But for 6 years, as I've been president, I've been the same tenure with some of you, all 6 years on the board. Some of you have come onto the board since I became president, and there's others that have left the board since I became president as well. But there's something that I've really learned, and I've challenged the board on this more than one time. And the one thing that we all have to keep doing is we have to keep asking questions. We need to ask questions for clarity, we need to ask questions to ensure transparency, and we need to ask questions to build trust. And I challenge all of you, as the remaining board members who go on after I step down, to continue doing just that. And I will always challenge my members and the members of BEA to continue to ask questions as well. And the other thing that I really learned is that we should never, ever lose sight of why we are all here, and that's for the children of Batavia. That's the ultimate moral compass that every one of us needs to use to guide us. We can all agree, or we can agree to disagree, but in the end, what we are doing for the students in our classroom is what matters most. Keep asking questions and use that moral compass to guide us for the best for our kids in Batavia. So to all of you, thank you very much, and good night.
Thank you, Todd. All right, next is Marcia from BESPA. Hey, Marcia.
Hello, I'm Marcia, the president of VESPA, and I just want to tell you, I had Miss Albaugh too. It was Miss Albaugh back in the time. It wasn't, what's her name now? For home ec, so I just want to let you know that was kind of funny.
Amy Powell?
Yes, yeah, it was Miss Albaugh back then. Okay, today I gather here to celebrate the remarkable careers of two VESPA individuals who have been the backbone of our school community for many years. We bid farewell to Ann Wilson. She's the BHS Principal Secretary for 15 years, and Maureen Penman, a paraprofessional at various schools for 18 years. They are retiring after dedicating countless hours to the betterment of our institution. Ann and Maureen have been more than just colleagues. They've been mentors, friends, and guardians of our school's spirit. Their commitment to excellence, unwavering dedication, and genuine care have left an indelible mark on all of us. Behind the scenes, they've worked tirelessly to ensure the smooth functioning of our school, often going above and beyond their duties. But beyond their professional duties, Ann and Maureen have been beacons of positivity and kindness. Their warm smiles, encouraging words, and compassionate hearts have touched the lives of everyone they've encountered. As they embark on this new chapter of their lives, we extend our heartfelt gratitude for their years of service. Cheers to Ann and Maureen. Thank you.
Board liaisons, are there any committee updates?
I have one.
Danielle, do you have any? Are you nodding yes?
Yes.
Okay, would you like to start?
Sure. Plaque met, I think, twice since our last meeting, and it actually was their last meeting of the year. They did some good work in this last meeting. They really got going. They got their, they revised their charter. I think they hit almost every goal that they kind of put in place since the beginning of the year. I can't remember what one thing that's going on to the next year, but really came together to kind of iron out what their, mission is, and where they want to go to provide the best ability to keep providing PD for the district. They set the date for summer retreat, which we'll then plan for the next year. So that was great. And then I think Equity met since our last meeting. It feels like that was a very long time ago, but I think it was April 4th. So with that, I'm just going to look at the message that we take away. So We had good conversations around articles. The ones that we went through are You Are Special. Is it, and then Now Stop Being, hold on. Is You Are Special one, and then Now Stop Being Different and Facilitate Critical Conversations the second? So a lot of the conversation went into how do we have these difficult conversations with the students regarding world events, just different topics that naturally come from home or online, wherever. I mean, kids are humans and they are absorbing everything, and so when it does come in the classroom, how is that handled? So there were some conversations going on regarding that, what we can do to help the staff out and to help the students be able to have conversations respectfully and kind of keep the tone on. So that was a big part of it, and I think going forward, there was a desire to have articles regarding the dialects that different students have. I'm just going to read off because I'm not familiar personally, but one is BIC, which is Basic Communication Skills, versus CALP, which is Cognitive Academic Language Proficiency. So basically when kids are coming in and they're using their home dialects or using what's familiar to them, and how do we incorporate that as far as, do we overcorrect, may I use the bathroom versus, other ways that they may come over and put that language, whether it's in face-to-face or in their schoolwork. So just trying to reach as far as equity and how to kind of meet the kids where they're at and encourage the different dialects and language usages. That was pretty much, what do you think, Tom?
I think you did a fantastic job.
Okay, all right. That's all I
Was this
got.
their last meeting of the year?
Our last meeting will be on the 9th. It's the second week of May.
You have another one.
Yeah, one last one.
Oh, and with that, we also had heard back from some students. Part of the task is to reach out to students to kind of find out from them directly. And there was some feedback that was shared, and then, there's gonna be more effort to go in and keep asking those questions and then bring that data back and see what the feedback from students are.
All right.
Yep.
Aaron, anything on yours?
Yes, the insurance committee met on April 11th. I was not able to attend, unfortunately. I had a nice conversation with Josh, and he got me up to speed, and I also have a message to read. So the committee saw a demo of the new benefit administration system by B Swift. We talked about that at a previous board meeting. AP presented a current financial tracker and shared stop-loss quotes. AP presented ways to save money through pharmacy programs. Also, AP presented other pharmacy cost-saving programs regarding formularies and 90-day prescriptions. The committee approved to adapt 2 of the pharmacy programs. Also, you might have seen a new insurance newsletter was shared with the committee for feedback before sharing it with staff. And the committee discussed topics to share in the newsletter and set a calendar of what topics will be discussed. And I know we do have at least one more. We have one more meeting before the end of the school year, so we'll have another update next board meeting.
Okay. I'll do RAC.
Thank you.
Okay. You were worried I was gonna call it. So actually, because of some oddity of scheduling, RAC met twice between the last board meeting and this one. So at the one in March, we primarily reviewed, and this one happened again, we reviewed the health, life, safety survey. So if everybody's not familiar, once every 10 years approximately, school districts need to hire an architect, which we have one, to kind of do an assessment of the kind of safety and security of sorts of the schools, as well as if there's any items in there that are aging, need replacement, and whatever else. So it's a long process that is ongoing. They're in the process of finalizing those. Reviewed a few things in particular at the middle school, but that continues to be proceeding. I believe at the one before, we talked a little bit about the food service contracts that were under consideration. And then on the last one, we talked quite a bit about the history and the potential upscaling of the elementary school supply program. So kind of at the Amazon of school supplies for the district. So talked about the work effort that would be involved in that, the cost savings primarily for our parents and families that send their kids to school and now don't have to brave Target to go buy parts and pieces and pencils and whatever else. And then a big discussion about, does that get scaled up to Rotella Middle School? So the general thought in the group was that yes, it should be explored, but some consideration would need to be made for logistics and manpower and staffing and cost and all of that. So They did kind of a slow rollout on the elementary school level, learned some lessons as one would expect to do. From what we've understood in some recent surveys by the teachers at that level, it's been very good. And so they're going to plan on trying to explore the same thing. So at some point, they may be coming to us to kind of approve that measure. So, okay. I don't think I missed anything else, but if I did, I'm sure there's a message on the website you could look at. So, thank you. Rob, anything on yours?
No, I do not.
Okay, RJ?
I have a very exciting and thorough and in-depth update
Can't wait. Should I get a pen?
regarding the stipend committee. Well, Steve's actually going to provide it.
That was a good setup, RJ, thank you. Yeah, stipend committee made April 4th. We're actually going to meet this week, Thursday, then we have our final meeting, May 16th. And, you know, we've sent out a timeline to the staff a couple of times this year. We kind of redeveloped that, made sure, we tried to align all of our meetings with our timeline. And so where we're at right now is we have had an initial meeting to review the requests for next school year from our various staff members with ideas, maybe for a new club or maybe to enhance their club or move their club up because more kids are involved or they're spending more time or doing different things. And so we reviewed all those last at the beginning of this month, and then we're going to try to make our final decisions on allocating our funds Thursday. So for the 29 staff members that made requests, you should be hearing from representative, usually me, from the stipend committee sometime in the next couple of weeks in May, because that's what our timeline requires of us. Like I said, we had 29 requests from staff, and it totaled around $120,000. Now, the difficult part is that we're allocated $10,000, so quick math, I don't know if that's 7%, 8%, 9%, that we can actually spend, but it obviously means that we have to make some hard decisions because whittling down $120,000 worth of requests down to $10,000 is pretty challenging. But the one thing I'd like to say about this committee is they work. Like when we meet, we get down to business, we do work. And also, there's a great spirit of kind of looking at the big picture. There's not people on there that are out there for themselves, and I feel like because of those things, we've made very good decisions, or at least reasonable and logical decisions over the years. So I want to give them a shout out as a committee. They've put in a lot of hard work this year, and then another special shout out to Shelby Gages. She's been my co-chair this year, and it's been an absolute blessing to have her be a part of our team in that role. Like I work with Jake too, and as a co-chair, and it's good to have a team member that we can kind of work on things together, and so I really appreciate Shelby. She's done great work this year, so. That's the report. Comprehensive enough? We do okay?
Good job.
Thank you.
Sue, did you have anything? Didn't mean to skip
I'm
over.
good.
Okay, thank you. All right, that was committee reports. So today, the board will need to go into closed session to review some items. I'll go over the purpose of that in a minute, but you're welcome to stay here as we will have action items to vote on when we return. If you decide to leave, we want to thank you for coming out this evening. So the time is 7:28, and I will entertain a motion to move to closed session as allowed under the Open Meetings Act for the purposes of exception 5 ILCS 120/2C1. So moved by
Second.
Raquel, second by Aaron. Cindy, please lead us in a roll call vote.
Bach? Yes. Kilbert?
Yes.
Sliger?
Yes.
Arlandu?
Yes.
Gonzalez Thomas?
Yes.
Meadows?
Yes.
Mathis?
Yes.
All right, motion passes. So again, we'll be back after we have our closed session. Time is 8:09.
Boys,
We have
I can look
returned
it
to
up.
open session. Cindy, can you call the roll?
Arlandu,
Here.
Gonzalez Thomas,
Present.
Hilbert,
Present.
Flock,
Yes.
Mathis,
Here.
Meadows,
Here.
Sliger,
Present.
All right, thank you. Consent agenda, according to board policy, we designate a portion of the agenda as consent agenda for the items that usually do not require extensive discussion before board items. These items are generally routine, recurring, and can be grouped together for efficiency. Steve, would you please take us through the items on the list?
Absolutely. 5.1 is our approval of the March 19th, 2024 meeting minutes. 5.2 is the approval of the April 9th, 2024 meeting minutes. 5.3 is the approval of the March 19, 2024 closed session meeting minutes. 5.4 is the approval of the April 9th, 2024 closed session meeting minutes. 5.5 is our monthly personnel report. 5.6 are monthly payroll and bills. 5.7 is destruction of closed session recordings from October 4, 2022. 5.8 is our donations. We definitely want to thank Beefy for their two generous donations to us this month. 5.9 is the renewal of the help desk software. 5.10 is the textbook approval. 5.11 is the award of the elementary student school supplies bid. 5.12 is the award of the copy paper bid. 5.13 is the Fox Valley Career Center intergovernmental agreement. 5.14 is the authorization to dispose of surplus property. And then finally, 5.15 is the approval of our consent agenda.
Thank you. Anyone have any items to, any questions or comments? Raquel?
In the invoice journal, I'm just curious, with a couple people, I know they're probably contract employees, but just what did they do? The first one being Lauren Biddle.
She does IEP services for outplaced students.
The Michelle Thompson.
She works on ELA, she's a consultant on ELA instructional implementation.
Does she do all, like, elementary through high school?
She
Or only
does-
does certain?
She can do that, that's her background. She did her teaching, but she focuses mostly on the elementary.
And then, yeah, I don't want to mispronounce her name. Miss
Fong.
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 Miss Fong.
Fong Palpais.
Fong has done, she's from Texas, she's done PD for our related services personnel on equitable identification practices. So when we have students with language differences or cultural differences, how do we effectively and fairly evaluate them for special education or related services?
I'm gonna jump on that if that's okay. Is that like a methodology to kind of assist or minimize over identification? based on-
Correct.
Thank you.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, did she work with everybody or only like administrators or certain teachers?
Administrators at all the levels, and then mostly speech pathologists, that's the main thing, and then school psychologists.
Okay. And then going back to. That might be it. That's it.
Okay. Anyone else have any other questions? Okay, thank you, Raquel. I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Sue, second by
Second.
RJ. Cindy, please lead us in a roll call vote.
Arlandu,
Yes.
Mathis,
Yes.
Flock,
Yes.
Sliger,
No.
Meadows,
Yes.
Hilbert,
Yes.
and, I'm so sorry. Gonzalez Thomas.
No.
I had you covered just in case. Okay, motion passes. Thank you very much. Tom, is there anything to share in this evening under reports for FOIA or treasurer?
All the reports have been provided.
Anyone have any questions? Quieter without Tony here today. Okay, thank you very much. Action items, authorized replacement door control system hardware. Dave, you hung around for this long, you might as well walk up to the podium.
All right. Pull it up here.
All right, so our door control system was actually purchased in 2009. The system has circuit boards that are literally from 2009, still running. That's a long time. We're at the point where we need to replace that entire back end of it. That's how we scan into doors when we walk up with our badges. It locks the doors automatically, things like that. So the hardware that handles all of that literally is from 2009. So the plan here is to replace that for all buildings for the 62 and change. That will bring us up to a newer standard where we can start running newer badges. Other options come into play at that point too for door controls and things like that. One being mobile access on your phones, things like that. So a lot more modern solution. So
Does it improve school security?
it does. Encryption.
Thank you.
Yep.
Just curious, like, when we ever had like the polar vortex, not that anyone was going into the schools, but after, was there ever an issue due to coldness and
Yep.
not having?
I took care of that this past year. All the door readers, they were old as well, 2009. When it would get cold outside, their badge readers would actually quit working. They wouldn't even read your badge. So we replaced all of that this past year to get through that, prepping for this process now. And then once that is set up, we can start turning on some of these other features and kind of move us forward into the real time compared from 2009. Yep.
Okay.
I have a question, I always ask it.
Sure.
But was this anticipated and is this within budget?
So I wanted to explain that, because I'm happy you asked that. My Chromebook purchases that we got from the feds, our grants, helped fund this. So it actually helped us take care of something that's been needing attention for years.
Excellent.
So it's actually doing very good for us.
And then what's the anticipated lifespan of this equipment?
I'll say 10 years. I mean, we got more than that out of them, you know. We protect them with power, surge suppression, things like that. They're on batteries. We always replace the batteries. So there's a lot of redundancy and things that come on the back end for that to protect them as well. But we're expanding. We've got roughly, I think it's almost 90 doors that we control with that system. I'm sure there'll be more in the future, but this lets us grow as we add more to it too.
So will you be able to see if a door is ajar?
Yeah,
That-
you can now.
Okay.
Yep. There's sensors, so like all the work we did at the two elementaries last year, that's all integrated in this system as well. So you know when doors open, close, you hit buttons at the offices, it's all ran through the front desk, things like that.
So someone couldn't prop a door open and we would know about it?
There'd be an alert, yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Did this go out to bid, Dave, or was this?
It did not. I actually quoted myself like 4 different companies, because our problem is the current badges we have from 2009. You can't have an easy step up to the current. It would have taken multiple phases to get through that, and I would have literally had to have all of however many, 800 and some staff, give me all their badges, and I'd have to print 800 new ones somehow and coordinate all of that. We did not want to do that. We wanted to get it to where we could phase it up through the process. So once this is done, I'll be able to buy the newer brand of badge that has the better encryption, and then all the new hires will just start getting the new ones, and we'll start phasing through the other buildings as we go as well. So that's the plan, at least.
There's an exception effectively for the bidding rule around security and professional services and that type of stuff. So it doesn't have to be bid, but you.
I always do at least 3. That's my rule. I even tested other vendors thinking we could jump to something else, because I don't want to be tied to one. But even that would have been a massive change for the district that would have definitely been an interruption to everyone. So the goal is to make it the least painful path and actually improve it. So that's the path we went. Any other questions?
All right. I will entertain a motion to authorize the purchase of replacement door control system hardware at the cost of $62,824.
I'll move.
So moved by, who was that? Danielle?
Second.
Danielle, second by Sue. Thank you. Cindy, please lead us in a roll call vote.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Locke,
Yes.
Mathis,
Yes.
Gonzalez Thomas,
Yes.
Arlandu,
Yes.
Sliger,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes. All right, item 7.2, Mid-Valley Special Education Cooperative Articles of Joint Agreement. Tom, I believe this is you.
Yes. So this agreement is brought to you from time to time. It's required by the Articles of Agreement whenever there's an adjustment made, amendments, updates. And so This year, at the beginning of the year, Mid-Valley, we held kind of like a retreat with the superintendents, the liaisons from all the member districts, special education departments, and then our CSBOs. And so we kind of spent time looking at the articles of agreement between all the membership districts. Came to conclusion that we kind of redlined areas, and then the attorneys for Mid-Valley took a review of it as well to make sure it was updated to state statutes. And so we reviewed it and have approved it. BPS is the final district to vote this through and approve. The other membership districts had board meetings prior to this already, and took care of it. So my recommendation is that the board approve it.
All right, any questions for Tom?
So you just kind of answered mine. I'm just saying like, were all the districts aligned in it?
That is, yes.
And this is just like, this agreement can last for 3 years or 5 years?
Yeah, the agreement is annual, and the only way this articles of joint agreement would dissolve is if the entire Mid-Valley Board, which is the superintendents of the membership district, voted to dissolve the cohort, or the co-op, excuse me. But that would take a tremendous undertaking to do that, because there are certain state regulations and requirements school districts are required to have, so. They've been great, it's been a great partnership, we continue to work really closely with them. So no, the updates also were a matter of like certain governance things within our own structures.
Any other questions? All right, I will entertain a motion to approve the Mid-Valley Special Education Cooperative Articles of Joint Agreement as presented.
So moved.
Rob, second by Raquel. Cindy, please lead us in a roll call vote.
Meadows,
Aye.
Mathis,
Yes.
Locke,
Yes.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Arlandu,
Yes.
Gonzalez Thomas,
Yes.
Slager,
Yes.
Motion passes. Item 7.3, authorized purchase of phone system upgrades. Dave. Let's go, Dave. I'm moving.
All right. So another long-term thing here, 2007 is when we purchased Cisco IP phones. If you recall, in the 90s, ER actually had the same things on the TV screen. It's the same phone. We are finally getting to that. Again, due to Chromebook funding, it helped me get to that. So we're replacing all of them. That includes classroom phones. We're actually giving them color screens and speakerphone, because they actually never had that previously, so they're actually able to use them a lot better. We have our nice logo on them now, so they look really nice. Secretaries and admins are also getting these phones, so it's a great upgrade so far. We've actually been using them in 4 buildings right now, and it's great. So,
Any questions for Rob, other than what museum will take our old phones?
and no, I'm not Dr. Carter, if anyone.
You don't play one on?
Wrong show.
All right, I will entertain a motion to authorize the purchase of new phones and servers at the cost of $107,500.
So moved.
Second.
Raquel.
I left out something I wanted to include too.
Yeah.
Those phones actually have lifetime warranty in the classrooms, so when they get broke, they just replace it.
Nice.
Even better.
Awesome.
Anyone want to change their mind with that bit of information? Okay. All right, Cindy, please lead us in a roll call vote.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Locke,
Yes.
Mathis,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Gonzalez Thomas,
Yes.
Slager,
Yes.
Arlandu,
Yes.
Motion passes. Approval of the fiscal year 2025 staffing plan. Steve will lead.
What's that? Tony's not here today.
I know.
So, I have 2 documents that I attached to this report. The first one is the FY '25 staffing plan. There's a front section there about our process. I think the point with that couple of paragraphs is that this process is done collaboratively. It takes time. We review data in December. We meet with principals in late January, early February. We met as a district leadership team, our cabinet, our principals, and went through the whole process. And so this is what we've come up with. You can see our recommendations. The first one is a couple of new positions. Second recommendation is increasing, we've had technology technicians at a 0.6 FTE and moving them up to 1.0 FTE. increasing a part-time counselor at Batavia High School to full-time, adopting the attached administrative and exempt employee salary benefits plan. To give a little historical context to that, this was developed 3 years ago, and it allows us to create a benefit book for our exempt and administrative employees, as well as salary ranges for all those positions. The concept of that is then we have it in place for 3 years. That allows us to manage and work with the people in that employee class in a equitable and financially stable fashion. And then we look at those numbers again and we make the adjustments, and that's what you have before you. And then this fifth bullet under recommendations is really what the different FTE at our different buildings, something that we haven't done in the past. We did build in, if you can just scroll down a little bit, Holly, you can see that we actually have 2 positions in reserve for unanticipated enrollments, but we're anticipating them, obviously, so that's kind of an interesting contrast. Because, you know, over the course of, we've made our recommendations for sectioning in our various elementary schools. That's where this really primarily happens. And then you have Brad and I kind of look at those numbers on a monthly basis, starting in May, and then we look at them in June, and we look at them in July. And, you know, we also look at the specialized programs within schools, because different specialized programs, for instance, at HC Storm, having EL students, those students go out, they have some time during the school day that they're with an EL teacher, but they have other times during the school day where they're with their classmates in class. And so we have to kind of take all those things into account. And this is, and those can grow over the course of the summer. We often add sections of kindergarten late in the summer too, as enrollment changes. Again, we do our best to project things, but people move in, people move out, and so we have to make adjustments, and so that's why we have those reserves there. In the end, you can see from the building level teaching staff FTE, it's a reduction of 1.5, which is probably less than Tony's projections are, and that has been the case over the last few years, where our enrollment numbers should dictate that we reduce staff, but we've actually, because of our student needs, whether that's academic or SEL, we've actually continued to add staff. And so this is the numbers that you're looking at. Kind of to Sue's question, Tony obviously is a major part of this process, and you know, everything that we're doing is financially reasonable and possible, with all of the factors that we're looking at into next year, which does include bargaining a new contract with our BESP organization.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions for Steve?
Just real quick, the reserve, are those current staff, or are those people do you think you're gonna have to hire?
It's actually, those are 2 positions that we kind of hold, and what is most important about that is that Tony, in his financial forecasting, he can budget for those 2 positions with, you know, budgeting for the salary and the benefits that go along with the position.
So they're not actual hires?
They're not
of
actual
people, right?
human beings at this point.
Right.
They're positions, and then if we see that we need to adjust and add a section here or a section there, then those positions are accounted for financially, as opposed to coming back to you as a board in July, June, August, whenever it is, and saying, hey, we need the funding to add these positions.
Great, good plan. Any other questions? Okay, I will entertain a motion to approve the fiscal year 2025 staffing plan as presented.
So moved.
So moved by Aaron, second by RJ. Cindy, please lead us in a roll call vote.
Meadows,
Yes?
Mathis,
Yes.
Locke,
Yes.
Arlandu,
Yes.
Sliger,
Yes.
Gonzalez Thomas,
No.
Hilberg,
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes. 7.5, thanks Dave for jumping ahead for me. Dave will lead, authorized purchase of Chromebooks.
Kindergarten Chromebooks, we're at the point where I've got 1st through 12 on a 4-year cycle, so I'm moving the kindergarten class Chromebooks into that same plan. They currently keep them in the classroom in carts, so they're like mint condition. We've got 6 years out of these things, but they're getting so long in the tooth, it's kind of hard for them to kind of function with current internet type stuff, so we're bumping it up now. And then in the future, they'll be part of my 4-year plan with the rest of the Chromebooks for the district.
Any
questions?
questions for Dave?
Oh, they are the same as what you guys currently have too, so they're touchscreen, same setup.
Okay. Any
If
questions?
these get broken, are they replaceable?
You know, since we got these, it's been a really good success rate. I mean, I like them. And our favorite piece, I can see you have a sticker on yours. Best thing ever. We don't have to scrape them off when they break. We can send them in and it's a lot quicker for my team. So overall, it's been a great success with these, so.
Great. I will entertain a motion to approve the purchase of 400 Chromebooks from IT Savvy in the total amount of $159,600.
So moved.
Moved by Rob, second by Raquel. Cindy, please lead us in roll call vote.
Gonzalez Thomas,
Yes.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Mathis,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Sliger,
Yes.
Arlandu,
Yes.
Locke,
Yes.
Great, thank you, motion passes. Item 7.6, award of custodial services contract. Since Tony's not here, anyone care to lead for him? Oh, hello, sir.
Right there.
I was even past.
I was looking over there at Mark, I was like, where'd he go?
Yeah.
Left.
Poof.
So this tonight is what we discussed a few months ago, that we had a change in custodial services, a sudden change, and so this had to go back out to bid. And a lot of homework was done for the district on my part. A lot of research, a lot of phone calls to other districts and, well, and really the state of Illinois, and site visits as well. Wanted to do everything I could to make sure that we weren't in the same position that we were a few months ago. So what I present to you tonight is what I think is best for the district.
Thank you. Any questions for Mark?
Forget it.
Are you still in the position to hire members from the former staff with this?
The company can, yes. Yep.
All right, any other questions? I will entertain a motion to award a 3-year custodial services contract to GSF USA, Inc. in the amount of $4,852,978.90.
So moved.
Motion by RJ, second by
Second.
Raquel. Cindy, please lead us in a roll call vote.
Locke,
Yes.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Arlandu,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Gonzalez Thomas,
Yes.
Sliger,
Yes.
Mathis,
Yes.
Motion passes, thank you. Authorized extension of emergency contract for custodial services. We'll lead again.
Yep, as you remember, we did a 60-day emergency contract that only got us to May 3rd. What you just approved doesn't start until July 1. So I'm presenting this to extend the emergency contract to get to the June 30th day. And it is the same company, so obviously that's much more seamless than to have to go out and change and get something different. So that is what this action item is for you tonight.
Any questions?
Nope.
Okay, I will entertain a motion to extend the emergency purchase of custodial services from GSF USA, Inc. from May 4th, 2024 through June 30th, 2024, in the amount of $264,000.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Raquel, second by Rob. Cindy, please lead us in a roll call vote.
Locke,
Yes.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Gonzalez Thomas,
Yes.
Mathis,
Yes.
Sliger,
Yes.
Arlandu,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes. Motion passes. Curriculum, item 7.8, curriculum purchase.
Yep, this is for the purchase of Phonics Launch, which is an intervention for our students in K and 1. We've had a team that meets. It's an elementary team of classroom teachers, school psychologists, reading specialists, some administrators, and they have looked at what our intervention library for elementary has looked like. So they did some work last year, which we are implementing this year, and in looking at where The necessary pieces are to move next. This was their recommendation of phonics launch for K and 1 students.
Any questions for Brad?
So you said it was with a team, so did this go through CAC?
Nope.
Didn't go
This,
through CAC.
this team makes the recommendation and I bring it here.
And approximately how many people are on the team?
I'm trying to think of the room when I'm there. Probably about 12 people are in the room.
You said elementary, and everyone from like all 6 elementary schools are represented?
No. Mm-mm. I would say most schools, but not all schools.
And then, okay, I was gonna ask, but I'm sure you can get me just who was on the team, like who vetted it, but I'm sure you said who was.
Okay, any other questions? All right, I will entertain a motion to approve the purchase of phonics launch from Pioneer Valley Books in the amount of $27,679.
So moved.
So moved by, was that Sue? Second. Second by Aaron. Cindy, please lead us in a roll call vote.
Gonzalez Thomas,
Yes.
Arlandu,
Yes.
Steiger,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Mathis,
Yes.
Locke,
Yes.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Thank you, motion passes. Item 7.9, dates, times and dates for regular board meetings. Tom, did you want to lead this?
Yeah, so, last board meeting, we presented a draft of dates for the next calendar year. So here tonight are the same dates that were presented to you. No one had provided any concerns about conflicts, so, tonight, this is in front of you to act. I know there's that special board meeting, just a quick reminder that April 8th date is due to the new statutory update on the honorable dismissal process. That's why we have that meeting, just like we had this year on April 9th.
Any questions on this matter? Okay, hearing none, I will entertain a motion to approve the times and dates for the regular board meetings held from July 2024 through June 2025 and the April 8th, 2025 special meeting.
So moved.
So moved by Sue, I think I heard.
Danielle.
Danielle, you two sound, today, my ears are off, sorry.
Second.
Second by Raquel. Cindy, please lead us in a roll call vote.
Locke,
Yes.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Arlandu,
Yes.
Gonzalez Thomas,
Yes.
Mathis,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Steiger,
Yes.
I'm just excited.
All right,
I
that
don't have to
concludes
be
our
there that
action
long.
items for today. That was a lot. So thank you, everybody, for all the hard work for all of those. It was, by joking about it, I don't mean to diminish it. A lot of good stuff there, so thank you. All right, item 8.1, board matters. So as we discussed last time, these are kind of items that are to be kind of either brought up for discussion that are not leading to action items, or are items that board members would like to potentially discuss in the future. I did get an email from a board member and who identified 3 different things that they would like us to kind of consider for either future agenda items or for special sessions or part of something else. So those 3 items were over-identification of students of certain groups for special education services or others, hiring practices, that's been talked about a little bit in the past, and resignation practices as it relates to kind of exit interviewing. And then what are our policies and procedures as it relates to bullying? Tom and I talked a little bit on this, and I'm open. This isn't kind of intended to be a kind of a hearty discussion, but just to find out if anybody kind of has any kind of objection to that. One of the things I personally think a lot of these are either going to be a part of an upcoming kind of closed session we may be having on school security, as well as it may be related to the strategic plan, so they may be involved in that process as well. And then that may kind of lead to some of the other elements. Does anybody have any, the other reason for bringing it up here is just to make sure that the staff has adequate time to prepare something around these so that we can all become educated on the matter either in advance or at a meeting.
Would you mind running through like just each item? Like
Yeah, so the first one was over identification of certain sets of students. So whether that's black and brown students, any other groups that may be over-identified for special education services or other school academic purposes, hiring practices specifically as it relates to diversity, and then resignation practices. So if somebody's resigns, is there a kind of exit interview process. We talked about that at a couple of meetings ago. And then specifically around understanding a bit more about the bullying policies and procedures associated with that.
Sound like great topics to me.
I think they are too. Okay. So I'll be working with Tom about trying to determine where those would kind of fit. There, as evident by today's meeting, there's a lot to discuss. So we'll make a priority of trying to determine when those are and when they would fit into the agenda. So thank you for those who brought it up. I did not specifically poll everybody in advance because I kind of thought everybody would feel pretty confident about wanting to talk about those in the future, so. All right, lastly is administration comments. Tom, is there anything you'd like to add?
I do. I have a few things I'd like to share. I'll try and be brief. First and foremost, if the powers of observation have done well for you tonight, you will notice a new name tag for Mr. Steve Pierce, who is now officially Dr. Pierce as of yesterday. So congratulations, Steve. Very proud of you as a teammate. Nice job. That is no small feat. So congratulations, Steve. Also, I wanted to give a specific shout out to the city of Batavia and thank them for the communication and support and the collaboration over my brief time here in this district. We've had a few biggies, throughout the year. Ones that come off the top of my head are our January weather, 2 weeks. We had great conversations about, and Mark was in great communication with them. I mean, there's just such a good partnership and talking about the conditions of the street, what were their plans, what were our plans. Also, secondly, there was a recent chemical spill near the creek that runs behind JBN. The city was so on top of it, so proactive in making sure we were informed, being kept up to date, and I really appreciate that. And there was good dialogue there. And then, most recently over spring break, the city worked on a project at their water reclamation site, and one of the things they had to do was sever all communication lines, as to which is one of our main communication lines here to the district and all of our services. They were, again, ahead of time on their proactive communication. They kept us informed of the project status, and they were actually very quick on the work.
And nothing went down.
Nothing went down, and I'd like to bring it up because there was a board question a few months ago about our systems of redundancy when it comes to this and why we have two lines. This was actually a wonderful test over spring break to see if this was going to impact us and our redundancy systems were working or failing us, and it worked. So I just wanted to say that to the city and just thank them for their communication. And I want to give another thanks. It's kind of like a gratitude night. Down this final stretch, it is a very busy time of year in all of our buildings as we run to the end of the school year. I just want to say thank you to all of our staff in this district. There's so many events being planned. We just got out of just a 2-week window of testing, right? And there's more testing coming at certain buildings, like the high school with AP window open right now. And just all the work they're doing to close the year, but give our kids a great end to the year. Just want to say thank you to every one of them. It's very busy. And of course, we have the culminating event with graduation and all the planning that goes into that. So I just wanted to say thanks to everyone at BPS 101 for what they're doing. And then Cindy, just wanted to say thank you one day in advance since I won't be here tomorrow. But tomorrow is our Administrative Assistant Appreciation Day. Cindy, I cannot express how much gratitude I have for the work you've done in supporting me in my new time here. And to all of our administrative assistants in the district, I just want to say thank you for all of your work and support that you do to make things happen in this district. Thank you to everybody. Last thing, on this note, when you need a bucket refiller, this morning I got it. I am really pumped, to finish this year right now. I got invited to a Tri-City Exchange Award breakfast celebrating students who were nominated and received awards for accepting the challenge of excellence. These are your non-traditional students that were celebrated and recognized today, and we had 2 of our very own at Batavia High School, whose challenges that they've overcome through their grit, their mindset, it's 2 of the more incredible stories I think I've heard. And to see them in living life to the fullest right now and what they've overcome and how bright they're looking forward to tomorrow and their future, I just have to say it was amazing. It's a great reminder of why we do what we do. For teachers, support staff, administrators, Board of Education, I wish we could share that story. And maybe we could talk privately if you want to hear it. But I just wanted to say it was an amazing morning. And on that note, thank you, Board, for all your work and your time. So that's it.
Thanks, Tom. All right, board comments. Sue, did you want to kick us off today?
I'm good,
Okay.
thank you.
Danielle,
Yeah.
she cedes her time for you.
You can have my-
To piggyback off Tom, definitely staff and parents, this is a crazy time for everyone. Hang in there. We're almost done, but thank you for everything to get us through to the end of the road. It has been busy, and these next couple of weeks we're gonna be even busier, but just hang in there. Thank you, Cindy, as well. Every time I need anything, you are so quick and so gracious and just always there to help with a smile, so thank you, since I won't see you tomorrow. I did want to mention some students, especially our own student ambassador, Zara, and Martin Byrne, are two students that I just kind of wanted to bring attention to. You know, our kids, we often just look at them as, you know, what are their achievements academically, what are their grades, what are their test scores. But these two were a prime example of activism. They went to city council for something that they believed in and had passion behind. And they went for the past month. I went to 3 different meetings. They organized, they spoke with complete respect and conviction. City council was really appreciative of the way that they brought everything to the table, the way that they were respectful with their words, and just how organized they were. And I mean, these two students, Martin's been up here at the podium many times. They are one of the reasons why I ran for school board. Zara is obviously an amazing student as well, but just to hear them speak, and especially in front of a room full of adults, and put together such an organizational effort to make change in lives other than theirs, I just cannot compliment them or be more proud. And we have a lot of students like that. Like time after time, when you led the student-led group with the parents and community, over and over, it was about how the students just, they spoke so well. They were just, I couldn't have done that. I don't know if any of you feel the same way, but I always look at them like, how do they address a room full of adults? And with such, where I was just talking about equity, with, you have these issues that are just, they're complex, they're conflicting in so many ways, but yet they bring this ability to speak. We can't all do that. So I'm just really proud of them, and I just wanted to kind of give them props for what they did. It was exhausting for them, and they were amazing. Just wanted to share that. That's all I have.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Try to follow that up.
That'd be tough. So I want to start by saying thank you for everyone who attended the meeting tonight, everyone who spoke, everyone who emailed the board or reaches out to us in the community. This is how it's supposed to work. It helps lead discussion, so thank you for that. I want to thank the Rotolo Middle School students who came and performed at the top of the evening. I think, Craig, you said we should do this every time. I would agree. That's a great way to get it started. I want to congratulate Mr. Wyeth. I hope he wins Educator of the Year. We're pulling for him. And then I just want to say a few things. So it is a busy time of year. It seems like we come out of spring break and then it's a sprint to graduation. And what I want to do is I want to recognize some of our partners, our parent partners, and staffing partners. So this past weekend on Friday, I attended the BEA event. On Saturday, I think there was the Booster Spring Fling. On Sunday, there was the Music Buffs. I'm not sure how they coordinate those things back to back to back. But it was really striking to me because all the events were well attended, enthusiastic. There was a lot of money raised for a lot of good causes to support our children. And I mean, that's not typical, really. I mean, that's pretty amazing. And it's one of the reasons our kids are able to succeed. So I just want to say thank you to all those people that do so much to support the district and support our children. And then coming up this weekend is prom. And it's a big night for a lot of families. My daughter's a senior. And it's a great night. It's also a stressful night as a parent. I'm sure for a lot of administrators it's also a stressful night. So I would just say to the community, let's celebrate them. Let's help them have a good time, but let's look out for them and give them a little grace. and make it a special night that's a safe one for everybody. I want to thank Todd. I want to recognize him for his service to the district. 6 years is a long time. You had those COVID years; those probably were like dog years. And it's going to be unusual having a board meeting without you sharing some of your thoughts, although I have a feeling you'll be here quite a bit, so. But I want to thank you for your service to the district. And, next time we meet will be one day before graduation. And Tom was talking about filling your bucket. And for me, the graduation is sort of the pinnacle of everything. I mean, when you go to that, it's just a joyous event to see our kids and our families, and again, an excellent reminder of why we all do what we do. So, I just hope we have a good finish to the year, and I look forward to that day. Thank you.
All right, so Holly, congratulations and thank you. Cindy, thank you so much for everything that you've done. I appreciate it. All the other administrators, administration staff out in UPS, thank you for all your hard work and phoning all the phone calls from parents and everybody else. So thank you to the BEA for the music bingo, and thank you, Todd, for coming here and supporting, giving your thoughts and so forth. Thank you to the Music Buffs for their fundraiser. Congratulations to Jake Wyeth. Hopefully he wins, like Aaron said. Just something really quick. So Rotolo, the social studies teachers, had an interactive in-school museum. So shout out to those social studies teachers because they had the Hellenic Museum actually come in instead of going there because they're no longer there. But they came in and they kind of it was very interactive because the kids could see artifacts and kind of learn about it. So that was kind of cool. Other than that, it's National Arab American Heritage Month. So just reach out for those people celebrating. And then people are celebrating Passover, so just hopefully they're celebrating that. Other than that, I don't really have anything else.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna start on this side and move across here. So Steve, congratulations. I did not notice the doctor sign there, so.
Subtle.
Congratulations, doctor. Cindy, thank you for all you do. Besides supporting Tom, I think many people know she supports the board too, so, and she does an amazing job, so thank you very much. Mr. Wyeth, good luck for him for the Educator of the Year award. It actually brought back a memory for me. My son is a second year in college, and he was a Spanish student of Mr. Wyeth's when he was in kindergarten at Grace McWayne.
Wow.
So it made me think about that, and now he's actually pretty fluent in Spanish, and that's one of his majors. So I guess he probably owes Mr. Wyeth some thanks for getting him started down that path. But and so good luck to him. And Todd, thank you for your service as well, and good luck in just being a teacher now. So. Okay, and I just want a couple things. April was an extremely busy month, and Tom talked about it, everyone else alluded to it, but I went to so many events, community events, that were just a great time for me. Bingo with the AGS PTO. We had a meet and greet with the Geneva School Board at the beginning of the month. Went to the incubator event led by Coach Piron and Mr. Gamlin, which was a really nice event, and I know you're familiar with it. I think you talked with some of the teams or heard some of their presentations.
They'll be coming here.
Yeah, so, I had an opportunity to talk to some of those students and hear about their ideas. That was awesome. We went to an AGS STEM club for kindergartners, and had the good fortune of bringing the Women in STEM club from Batavia High School, a couple of representatives there to help out with that event, and then, which was a great experience for not only myself, but for them. And they turned around and had an elementary school event at the high school this past Sunday, which was very well attended and was, by all accounts, a great event. So getting that STEM going, starting at that early age, was really nice to see. Went to the scholarship fundraiser for BAE BEA, sorry. And that was a fun night to socialize with colleagues and the teachers as well. And ended it with the booster fundraiser this past Saturday night at Grainology, which was another great event, very well planned, and had a great time there. So with all that being said, we have challenges, we have, you know, a lot of obstacles maybe in front of us here, but after attending all those events, I'm still remaining very optimistic in our students, in our staff, in our parents, and in our communities. I think we'll get in the right direction. Thank you.
I was gonna say, why even try, right? Good job, Rob. Thank you. I guess the only thing that I'll close with is, I just really kind of, thank you to Todd for all your time and effort over these years. I look forward to when you come back and speak for 3 minutes at a time.
Yeah. That's good.
And then to Cindy, as kind of being board president, you know, there's a lot of things that surprise you, but like the amount of support you get from like not only Tom, but Cindy and you know, what she does to help write up scripts for me so I don't say something I shouldn't say and I get things in the right order. And as I started, it was critical for me to not sound like a blithering idiot, so I appreciate that. And that, you know, I thought when you were kind of coming in that you had some big shoes to fill, and you did. But don't take this the wrong way. Apparently you have very, very big feet. So you are outgrowing those. So thank you for all you do. And even just the little touches like the emails you send out to the board, kind of giving us a heads up about educational opportunities for us to be better board members is, at least for me, and I'm sure others, very much appreciated. So thank you for all you do. I believe one of my kids probably had Mr. Worth as well for that stint when we taught elementary school kids Spanish. My first one, and I think was right maybe at the beginning, and I think after my son, they finished it the year before he started, my second one. So congratulations just on the nomination. I think that says not only of Danielle, like you're talking about, kind of two examples of students kind of are good representatives of what a lot of our kids are doing that we don't always see. There's, you know, while he is absolutely deserving of his recognition, there are plenty other teachers who are deserving of recognition as well, and just tirelessly work on their job and for the benefit of the students. So I appreciate all the unsung heroes, as well as Mr. Worth as well, and I hope he does win, because that speaks not only of him, but of everybody that works around him and supporting him and becoming the best teacher that he can be. So thank you to everybody involved in that. So I will entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved by Raquel, second by?
Second.
Second by Aaron. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It is now 8:58 PM and the meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.